Hi guys, it's Thursday. Yep, look, I took a shower. I took a shower last night. I did. So look at there, feeling a little bit better today. Yesterday was a bad day, but I have them always. Just a normal day. Normalness in an normal world. See, that's what I think it is. It's that the world is so unnormal that normal people become unnormal. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Okay. I just wanted to say it out loud to see if it made sense. When I heard it in my brain, it completely made sense to me. But saying it outside, yeah, outside sounds way better. Out loud made it sound even weirder than I thought it might be. You know, when I look inside the videos now, it's not so much like I see my mother. Now I see my grandmother. Now that's when you realize how old you truly are. You start, that's not your mom anymore. It's your grandmother looking at you back. Oh my goodness. Eesh. That's very scary. Yes, it is. Scary. But you know what? I got my craziness from her. Definitely. My grandmother was out there. Out there, man. Like Twilight Zone. Out there. She was a one of those B-52 bomber ladies. Rosie the Riveter. Yeah. She worked in avionics on the B-52s. She put in the pedals and everything inside the cockpit, way down in there. She was tiny enough to get down in there. We all used to be tiny women. In our heydays. Yeah. My grandmother still watched her weight until she died when she was 98. And she still bought red underwear with red flashy bras. Even though nobody saw them, they were just for her. But if they make you feel pretty, then put them on. You know, like they say. Do it for yourself. Yeah. So there. She did it for herself. She used to flash us, too, and say, "Oh, look at me." Ooh. My grandmother was a wonderful, wonderful woman. No matter what my mother says about her. My mother's lack of intimacy on us children is because of her mother never touching her or hugging her, or her father never touching or hugging her or saying "I love you" out loud. And then I said to her, because we had this discussion, I said, yes, but me and Denise and Eric all decided that we wouldn't be like you. We would break the circle, the chain. So you knew what you were doing was wrong, and yet you chose not to break it for us. So you have to live with that guilt, you know? And of course, she's always, "Oh, yes, it was all me, blah, blah, blah." Like, how can your children be, how can you say that, like, as if your child is saying something wrong against you because you weren't loved enough, because you weren't shown that you were cherished children, that you were wanted, that you weren't mistakes, that you were loved from the time she knew about you in her womb. But no, my mother had none of that. Her greatest joy now is to tell me I might have been a crappy mom, but I'm a great grandma and a great great grandma. And I always tell her, yeah, you're right. You absolutely are. But it took a while. And I think maybe it's because she can just put enough time in to be phony and fake, and that's all she can give of herself, because she's still selfish. She's still so very selfish. And I'm sorry, but when you become a mother, and I'm going to say this to the fathers out there, you give up your sense of selfishness. That's just the way it is. That's what you have to do, because it's no longer about you. You don't just get up in the morning for yourself. You get up in the morning for a little person who can't do yet for themselves. And then you take onto you the teachings, the life lessons, the love that you heap upon them, telling them they're the best part of you, because that's what they are. They are the best part of you. If you truly, truly want a child in your life, then they must be the best part of you. That's why you have a child. You don't just have a child because you wanted to get married and get out of the house that you lived in. That is not a reason to have a child. You wanted to have a child because you wanted to be with the guy that impregnated you. So, hey, guess what? We're having a kid. Let's get married. No, sorry. Maybe that works for some people, and I'm not going to throw shade on those people, but I don't believe that. I don't. My daughter was conceived on the very last day that her biological father and me were together. If that doesn't say that she was important or a miracle, then I don't know what does. That child was conceived the very last time we were sexually together, on the 13th of March in 1991. And on the 15th of March of 1991, I ended a 3.5-year relationship of hell. Yes, I did. And then I found out I was pregnant in April, and I was thrilled. And when I told him, he said, there's still enough time for you to do the right thing. Don't ever call me again. It's not mine. You're a gutter slut whore. So I never called him again. No. And then when my stupid girlfriend, who was one of my coaches through Lamaze, this was in the 90s, called and told his best friend, then of course I got a call from him. Not that he didn't know from some other people, like my mother's friends, you know. That's right. He was one of my mother's friends. I actually babysat for him and his girlfriend. His girlfriend left him and moved to Oregon. That should have been a cue right there. A clue, not a cue, a clue to me. But it wasn't. I wasted my 20s on that man. I did. My good 20s. When I was working out, slim as hell, was trying out for Miss 24-Hour Nautilus, when I found out I got pregnant. We were training. So that ended my muscle-bound career. That's why I thought that I could, take on a job working at an auto factory after my daughter was only 6 months old, because I thought for sure I can do this. This pays almost $20 an hour, basically, to start after your first 90 days. I can do this. I'm standing on my head. I'm Wonder Woman. I work out. I lift weights. Are you kidding me? Piece of cake. Good God. After, I don't know, 1 surgery, 2 surgery, and then I don't know how many physical therapy appointments for this and that and every other thing. One of the doctors I finally went to see told me, I don't know why you think you need to work in a factory. You are a very small, petite woman with small bones. even though I'm fat now. I wasn't back then. You need to find yourself a husband and then have more babies. That's what I would suggest. Of course, I probably should have slapped him or sued him because it was California. But no, I didn't. I just said, well, I wish it was that easy. You know, I should have asked him if he was proposing. He was the 49ers orthopedic surgeon. He actually had a red Ferrari or Lamborghini or something parked in front of his office. So, Dr. Steiner, I presume. I think so. Steiner. Yes. So, anyway, no. So I worked there for 3 years and ruined my entire body. And then one Marches are always crappy for me. I slipped on a sidewalk out in front of a pizza place here in town. We had like a last winter frost hit, and painted curbs, FYR, are very slippery. I stepped out of my truck, put my foot down on the painted curb there, thinking that it would be just fine. But no, whoosh, bam, right on my tailbone. My tailbone is like mush. Yeah, mush. I was supposed to have it removed, but I never did. And now it's so just crumbled up from all the epidurals and all the steroids and stuff. So it's just a massive mass. Just a massive mass. So anyway, it's Thursday. I wish it was Friday. Not that it matters, because every day in my house is a Friday. For me, anyway. So, Anyway, so there's a couple stories for you. My dog is looking at me like I'm a weirdo, but it's my dog that's the weirdo. Look. Oh, it won't let me change it over to her? Oh, that's crappy dappy. Sorry. Sorry, baby girl. Aw, I'm so sorry. You're actually looking at the camera too. Usually she doesn't. A little French bulldog baby. Yeah. I think I told you she's a rescue. She's from a puppy mill raid. When they got her, she's had like probably 6 sets of babies. Poor thing. Yeah. She was 8 pounds when we got her from the rescue. She's now like 18. She's perfect body weight. Yeah, poor baby. I had to have babies after babies. I know, poor girl. She's the sweetest thing. She never left the house. Even if she goes outside, she just walks around the property and comes right back in. Even the first time I brought her home, it was awful. She should have been only in the backyard, which is gated, and she can't get out. But I was so sick with COVID, and my husband was on a business trip that I laid on the couch dying and kept on coming in and out of sleep and looking for her. And I thought, good Lord, I just brought this dog home, and now she's probably halfway through Fallon, just running rampant. But no, she was just right there on the front porch, just sunning away, just looking at me like I was the best thing since sliced bread, or farmer's dog, which she loves to eat. Huh. Or when Mom cooks her chicken. Yeah. Yeah, she just raised her head up. Yeah. Her loves Mom's chicken, huh, baby? Yeah, her loves Mom's chicken. All right, everybody, you know what it means. It's on 14. It's time to end it and say bye. And I'm having a better day. And let's see how many days in a row Deb can have a good day. So peace out to you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.